Hello friends, welcome to yet another lecture at Finance MCQ. Friends, in this series of lectures, we are covering important MCQs for NHPC Senior Accountant Exam 2025. So friends, in today's lecture, we will be covering the second part of important questions on standard costing topic. Now, let's begin the video. Friends, the first question is, standard hours allowed are calculated as option A, actual output into standard hours per unit, option B, budgeted output into standard hours per unit, option C, actual output into actual hours per unit, option D, budgeted output into actual hours per unit. So friends, what should be the correct answer here? Friends, the correct answer is option A, actual output into standard hours per unit. So friends, this formula correctly determines the total standard hours that should have been taken to produce the actual level of output. Friend, next question.
Friends, before moving on to the next question, I would like to inform at Finance MCQ, we are offering NHPC Senior Accountant Exam course. The course covers the entire technical syllabus, that is 140 marks out of 200 marks. An entire course is having subject-wise, topic-wise MCQs, including past exams questions from other PSUs of similar nature. And this course also include NHPC previous year exam papers, which will be helpful for your exam preparation. So do avail this opportunity. Visit Finance MCQ website, take a demo of NHPC course and start your preparation. Further friend, you can use coupon code NHSA100 to get flat 100 rupees off on the course price. So now let's move to the next question.
The variable overhead efficiency variance is conceptually most similar to the option A, material price variance, option B, labor rate variance, option C, labor efficiency variance, option D, fixed overhead volume variance. So what should be the correct answer here? Friends, the correct answer is the variable overhead efficiency variance is conceptually similar to labor efficiency variance because both variances are based on difference between actual hours and standard hours allowed, measuring the efficiency of the unit base. For example, labor hours. Moving on, friends, which of the following would not be a reason for an adverse material usage variance? Option A, poor quality of raw materials, option B, an unexpected increase in the market price of materials, option C, malfunctioning machinery causing excessive scrap, option D, inadequately trained production workers. So friends, read the question carefully. It is asking which of the following would not be a reason. So the correct answer will be option B, an unexpected increase in the market price of materials. So friends, this would cause an adverse material price variance, not a usage variance. So friends, usage is about quantity, not price. Moving on. Friends, next question. If a company uses a standard costing system, the cost of goods sold on the income statement is typically stated at option A, actual cost, option B, standard cost, option C, budgeted cost, option D, market value. So, what should be the correct answer? Friends, this will be option B, standard cost. So friends, the inventory and cost of goods sold are recorded as standard cost and the variances are reported separately, often as an adjustment to gross margin. Moving on. Friends, next question. A company produces a single product. The standard fixed overhead rate is rupees 5 per machine hour. Budgeted production is given as 1000 units at 2 machine hours per unit. Then actual production was 1100 units. What is the fixed overhead volume variance? So the options are option A, rupees 1000 favorable, option B, rupees 1000 adverse, option C, rupees 500 favorable, while option D says rupees 500 adverse. So friends, to solve the question, first of all you should know the formula for calculating fixed overhead volume variance. So friends, the formula for calculating fixed overhead volume variance is actual production minus budgeted production in units multiplied by standard fixed overhead rate per unit. So friends, here they have given the standard fixed overhead rate is rupees 5 per machine hour and total machine hours is 2. So friends, here the standard fixed overhead rate per unit will be rupees 5 into 2, that is rupees 10, and they have given actual production as 1100 units and budgeted production is also given straightforwardly as 1000 units. So friends, the answer will be 1100 minus 1000 into 10, so that will be rupees 1000. So friends, the correct answer will be option A, rupees 1000 favorable. Moving on. Friends, the next question. The revision of standards is warranted when option A, an adverse variance occurs, option B, there has been a permanent and significant change in the production process or input prices, option C, the accounting period comes to an end, on option D, a new manager is appointed. So what should be the correct answer here, friends? So friends, the revision of standards is done when there's a permanent and significant change in the production process or input prices. The correct answer is option B. So friends, standard should reflect the current expected reality. A permanent change, example new technology, long-term change in market prices makes the old standard obsolete. Moving on, friends, next question. The selling price variance is the difference between option A actual selling price minus standard selling price into actual quantity sold. Option B actual selling price minus standard selling price into budgeted quantity sold. Option C actual quantity sold minus budgeted quantity sold into standard selling price. Option D actual sales revenue minus budgeted sales revenue. So friends, pause the video. These are confusing options, but you should know that option A is the correct answer, which says actual selling price minus standard selling price into actual quantity sold. Friends, this correctly measures the impact of charging a price different from the standard for the actual number of units sold. Moving on, friends, next question. In a standard costing system, a material mix variance is calculated only when option A, the total quantity of material used is different from the total standard quantity. Option B, a single raw material is used in the production process. Option C, the production process involves a standard mix of two or more raw materials. Option D, the price of one of the materials change unexpectedly. So, what should be the correct answer here? Friends, the correct answer is option C, which says the production process involves a standard mix of two or more raw materials. Friends, the concept of mix variance is only applicable when there is a standard proportion of multiple inputs that can be altered. Moving on, friends, next question. Which of the following is an advantage of using standard costing? Option A, it can be expensive and time consuming to set up and maintain. Option B, it facilitates performance evaluation and cost control. Option C, it always results in accurate product cost for financial statements. Option D, it eliminates the need for any other form of budgeting. So friends, a very straightforward question, a simple one. The answer is option B, which says it facilitates performance evaluation and cost control. So friends, by providing benchmarks and highlighting variances, it is a powerful tool for control and evaluation. Moving on. Friends, next question. An adverse fixed overhead volume variance is also known as option A, over applied overhead, option B, under applied overhead, option C, budgeted variance, option C, efficiency variance. So friends, here it is adverse fixed overhead volume variance. So what's the correct answer? Friends, it will be option B, which says under applied overhead. So friends, an adverse volume variance means the actual production was less than the budgeted, so fixed overheads were under absorbed or under applied. Moving on. Friend, next question. If the material yield variance is adverse, it means option A, the actual output from a given input of materials was less than the standard yield. Option B, the actual output was greater than the standard yield. Option C, the mix of materials used was different from the standard mix. Option D, the cost of materials was higher than the standard. So, what should be the correct answer? Friends, the correct answer is option A. The actual output yield for a given input of material was less than the standard yield. So, friends, an adverse yield variance indicates that the process was less productive than expected, generating less output for the material used. Moving on, friends, next question. The sum of labor mix variance and labor yield variance will be option A, labor rate variance, option B, labor cost variance, option C, labor efficiency variance, option D, idle time variance. So, the correct answer here is friends option C, labor efficiency variance. So, friends, similar to materials, the labor efficiency variance can be subdivided to analyze the effect of using a different mix of labor grades called as mix variance and overall productivity of labor called yield variance. Moving on, friends, next question. Which type of standard is generally considered the most effective for motivating employee performance? Option A, ideal standards. Option B, basic standards. Option C, practical standards. Option D, past performance standards. So friends, pause the video. Think what should be the correct answer here. Friends, the correct answer is option C, that says practical or attainable standards. So friends, these standards are tight but achievable. They include allowances for normal inefficiencies and are considered the best for motivating employees as they represent a realistic challenge. Moving on, friends, next question. A favorable sales volume variance combined with an adverse sales price variance would indicate that option A, the company sold more units than budgeted but had to lower prices to do so. Option B, the company sold fewer units than budgeted but at a higher price. Option C, Competitors have left the market, allowing the company to increase both price and volume. Option D, there was a data entry error in recording sales. So, what should be the correct answer? So, friends, read all the options carefully. The correct answer has to be option A. That says the company sold more units than the budgeted but had to lower prices to do so. So, friend, this scenario perfectly explains the combination of variances of higher volume that is favorable achieved by sacrificing price that is adverse. Moving on. Friends, next question. The variable overhead spending variance is the difference between option A, actual variable overhead and budgeted variable overhead. Option B, actual variable overhead and the flexible budget amount for the actual hours worked. Option C, budgeted variable overhead and applied variable overhead. Option D, actual hours worked and standard hours allowed. So, what should be the correct answer? Friends, the correct answer is option B, which says actual variable overheads and the flexible budget amount for the actual hours worked. So friend, this correctly measures the difference between what was actually spent and what should have been spent on variable overhead for the actual hours worked. Moving on. Friend, next question. If a company has a significant adverse material usage variance and a significant favorable labor efficiency variance, what might be a plausible explanation? Option A. The company used higher skilled workers who are more efficient but also demand better materials. Option B. The purchasing department bought high quality materials which were easier for workers to use. Option C. Production was rushed, leading workers to be less careful with materials to meet deadlines. Option D. The standard for material usage is too tight and the standard for labor efficiency is too loose. So, pause the video, read all the options again, friends. You should know the correct answer. The correct answer is option C. Production was rushed, leading workers to be less careful with materials to meet deadlines. So, friend, this scenario explains both variances. Workers finish faster, so that will lead to favorable labor efficiency, but at the cost of wasting more materials. So, that will result in adverse material usage. Moving on, friends, next question. The planning and operational variances are a further breakdown of option A, traditional static budget variance, option B, activity based costing variance, option C, cash flow variances, on last option, capital budgeting variances. So, what should the correct answer? Friends, the correct answer is option A, traditional static budget variances. So, friends, this is the correct context. This advanced analysis separates variances into those caused by faulty standards, that is planning, and those caused by execution, that is operational. Moving on. Friends, next question. Which of the following is a key criticism of standard costing in a modern manufacturing environment like JIT, that is just in time, or TQM, that is total quality management? Option A, it focuses too much on revenue generation. Option B, it is not detailed enough to be useful. Option C, it emphasizes on minimizing variances, may discourage continuous improvement and conflict with goals like quality and flexibility. Option D, it cannot be integrated with computerized accounting system. So, friends, it's a very simple, straightforward question. If you read all the options carefully, you will understand that option C make the most logical solution. Option C, that says it emphasizes on minimizing variances, may discourage continuous improvement and conflict with goals like quality and flexibility. So, friends, again, a major criticism, for example, a manager might avoid a process improvement that slightly increases cost, creating an adverse variance even if it dramatically improves quality. Moving on, friends, next question. The fixed overhead capacity variance is calculated as a difference between budgeted hours and actual hours worked, valued at the standard fixed overhead rate. So, an adverse variance indicates option A, the company had more plant capacity than it is actually used. Option B, the company's plant operated at a higher capacity than budgeted. Option C, the workers were more efficient than standard. Option D, the actual fixed overhead costs were higher than budgeted. So, friends, here the correct answer is option A, which says the company had more plant capacity than it actually used. So, friends, an adverse capacity variance means actual hours worked were less than the budgeted hours, indicating that the available capacity was underutilized. Moving on, friends, next question. If all variances are closed to the COGS, that is cost of goods sold at the end of the period, an overall net adverse variance will Option A, increase the reported gross profit. Option B, decrease the reported gross profit. Option C, have no effect on the reported gross profit. And last option says, be reported as a separate expense item below gross profit. So, what should be the correct answer? Friends, here the correct answer is option B, which says decrease the reported gross profit. So, friends, closing a net adverse unfavorable variance to COGS increases the COGS amount, which in turn reduces the reported gross profit. So that's all for today, friends. See you all in tomorrow's lecture where we'll be covering some more important questions on costing topic. Till then, thank you very much for watching. Take care and goodbye.